Hey, Florida State team. My name is CJ Curtsinger. I am a global director of sales for Otis Elevator Company World Headquarters. And Pat recently reached out to me to get some feedback from some alumni on how we found a sales career path, what that career path journey has looked like, and then what it's like to operate today in 2020, which is a very unusual year for the world and most economies. So to give you a little bit of background on myself, when I started at Florida State, I was actually a biology major. In my senior year, I looked around and noticed that most of my peers did not like to talk as often as I like to talk. I have a gift of gab, and I found myself to stick out, and not in a great way. And I realized that for the rest of my life, I need to be with peers who actually like to talk. As weird as that sounds, that was a sticking point for me. So as a senior, I switched over to marketing, thinking that people in a business settings talk. They're probably where I'm going to find myself as more of a natural fit personality-wise. I took a professional sales course just purely as an elective class, thinking nothing of it. Definitely didn't think that it was going to be a career path. And when we started doing our recorded sessions for our conducting a sales meeting, it kind of triggered my historical drive of wanting to apply what I learn in a lab setting, much like I was used to in a science course. I definitely didn't expect that it would drive the rest of my career, but it has. I found my passion in it. And from that elective course, I continued to take sales management, advanced sales. I was on the competitive sales team. And every aspect of sales, I became very passionate about, and it's driven my career. So within my career path, I have done many different things within my company. I have only worked for Otis Elevator Company since leaving Florida State 10 years ago. I have been a sales rep in all of our lines of business. I have been a P&L manager for a branch, and I have managed our sales department for the southeastern part of the United States before entering the global stage in my current role. The sales program really prepared me not only to be an effective sales rep, but to understand the sales process. And I can't emphasize enough that I would attribute the practical experience that you do in practicing your sales techniques to correlate to pretty much any job experience that you would need in the future. It's amazing how many people graduate without being able to effectively communicate to someone else in a meeting. And that's a fundamental skill that if you can enter the job market already able to conduct a meeting, you'd be shocked at how much that would advance you very quickly in your career path, whether it's sales or whether it's anything else in a company. There's no career path that doesn't have some form of internal and or external communication. So honing those skills is critical no matter what you want to do with your career. The current situation in 2020 is very unusual, and I know that Florida State is switching to online classes for at least this semester, and I'm sure that seems very unusual to most of you. Don't get me wrong, I love the campus setting, but it does make sense not only for your safety, but because in the real world, this is what business has become. I have been in a global traveling role for almost 3 years. In fact, when coronavirus hit, I had to cancel trips to Korea, India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, Singapore. That was all just my April itinerary, and it all had to be canceled. I haven't seen a coworker since March. Everything that we do is online over the internet, either WebEx, Zoom meetings, working with vendors, constant conference calls, lots of emails. So while I know this semester is very unusual, this is the real world, and it's what business professionals are dealing with. So it does give you a crash course in everything about your current environment can change and testing your ability to adapt to it. I'm sure that Pat is even adjusting the sales curriculum to focus on what we can do properly with remote mediums. So I just wanted to record this video to let you know my experience, how it's led me to where I am. Definitely attribute a lot of my personal career success to the training that Pat and his team had given me at Florida State. And I welcome everyone who was interested in my company to reach out to me, but at the very least, I will tell you that the sales career path has been extremely rewarding to me. I thrive off of interacting with other people. I'm a very competitive person, and all of this formulated to, once I found the experience of sales, it was a natural fit, and it drove the rest of my life. I've moved 6 times within the past 10 years for Otis Elevator Company. and I would not trade anything for this experience. So very rewarding. I wish you all the best of luck this semester.